Listen to me carefully. The world does not wake up thinking about you. It does not pause for your fear, your pain, your doubt, or your dreams. The world keeps moving, cold and indifferent, whether you rise or fall, and that truth, harsh as it sounds, is not meant to crush you. It is meant to free you. Because once you understand that no one is coming to save you, no one is watching closely, no one is waiting to applaud your effort, you stop you stop begging, you stop hesitating. You begin to work for something deeper than validation. You begin to move with purpose, not noise. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you is not comforting, but it is empowering. You see, most people are exhausted not from work, but from expectation. They expect fairness, they expect recognition, they expect motivation to magically appear before action. But warriors of life learn early that motivation follows movement, not the other way around. The world's indifference is a test. It asks you one question every day. Will you act without applause? Will you train when no one is watching? Will you sharpen your skill in silence while others complain about the darkness? Because strength built in isolation lasts longer than confidence built on praise. When you accept that the world does not care, you stop wasting energy trying to be seen, and you start becoming dangerous in your discipline. There will be days when your effort feels invisible. Days when you give everything and receive nothing in return. This is where most people quit. They mistake silence for failure, but silence is often the sound of growth happening underground. Roots grow where no one can see them. Steel is forged where no one can hear it scream. You must learn to respect the unseen phase. Work anyway, train, study anyway, improve anyway. Not because someone promised you success, but because mastery demands loyalty even when the reward is delayed. The world may not care, but your future self is watching closely, counting every quiet victory you earn today. Understand this. Suffering is not special. Pain does not make you unique. Everyone hurts. Everyone struggles. The difference is not who suffers, it's who keeps moving. Discipline is choosing progress over sympathy. When life hits you hard, don't ask why, ask how to adapt, how to endure, how to sharpen yourself through resistance. A blade does not curse the stone that grinds it, it becomes sharper because of it. The world's indifference is that stone. Let it shape you. Let it strip away weakness, excuses, and illusions. If you can work without reassurance, you can survive without comfort. And that makes you unstoppable. Most people are addicted to being understood. They want their struggles explained, their effort acknowledged, their intentions validated. But power comes when you no longer need to explain yourself. When your actions speak so clearly that words become unnecessary. Work in silence. Let confusion surround you. Let doubt misunderstand you. You are not here to be relatable. You are here to be effective. The path of mastery is lonely by design. If everyone understood it, everyone would walk it. But few are willing to accept indifference as the price of greatness. If you can, you step into a different class of human being. So when the world ignores you tomorrow, and it will, do not take it personally. Take it as permission. Permission to focus. Permission to grind. Permission to grow without distraction. Work when you are tired. Train when you are unmotivated. Study when it feels pointless. Because one day, results will speak in a language the world cannot ignore. And by then, you won't need its approval. There is a moment in every person's journey when reality strips away fantasy. When you realize effort does not guarantee reward, and hard work does not always bring immediate victory. This moment is dangerous because it creates two kinds of people. One becomes bitter, convinced the world is unfair, and slowly gives up. The other becomes precise, calm, ruthless with their energy. They stop chasing outcomes and start perfecting actions. They understand that the work itself is the path. When you train your body, sharpen your mind, or discipline your habits, You are not negotiating with the world. You are negotiating with yourself. And that is the only battle that truly matters. You must learn to move forward without emotional support. Not because emotions are weak, but because they are unreliable. Some days you will feel strong, other days empty. If your progress depends on how you feel, you will always be inconsistent. But if your progress depends on principle, you become steady. You work because it is time to work. You rest because it is time to rest. No drama, no excuses. This is how warriors are formed, not in moments of inspiration, but in boring, repetitive discipline. The world does not care about your mood, and that is exactly why you must master it. Look around you. Most people wait. They wait for clarity, for confidence, for the perfect moment. But clarity comes after action, not before. Confidence is built by surviving discomfort, not avoiding it. The perfect moment is a lie told by fear to keep you still. While they wait, time moves. While they complain, others train. While they doubt, someone else is becoming skilled enough to replace them. This is not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. The world will not pause while you hesitate. So move now, even if your steps feel imperfect. Momentum is more powerful than perfection. You are not required to enjoy the process. You are only required to respect it. Respect the hours, respect the repetition, respect the struggle. Joy is a side effect, not a prerequisite. Mastery does not ask if you are inspired, it asks if you are committed. There will be days when the work feels heavy and meaningless. Do it anyway, because the day you feel like quitting is often the day you are closest to breaking through. Growth hides behind resistance. If it were easy, everyone would have it. Difficulty is the filter that decides who advances and who stays average. Remember this: no one owes you belief. Not your family, not your friends, not the world. Their doubt is not an obstacle, it is a neutral force. What you do in the presence of doubt defines your character. If you need belief to move, you are already defeated. But if you can move without it, you become self-sustaining. You stop asking for permission. You stop needing reassurance. You become quiet, focused, and dangerous in your consistency. At some point, you must accept that loneliness is part of the price. When you choose discipline over distraction, depth over comfort, growth over approval, fewer people will walk beside you. Not because you are better, but because you are moving in a different direction. This solitude is not punishment, it is refinement. In silence, you hear your own weaknesses clearly. In isolation, excuses lose their power. When no one is watching, you discover who you really are. Many fear this space, so they fill it with noise. But those who endure it emerge sharpened, self-reliant, and unshakable. You must also let go of the need for quick results. The mind craves speed, but mastery respects time. Rushing leads to shallow skill and fragile confidence. True strength is slow, layered, and earned. Think of progress like carving stone. Each strike looks insignificant, but over time the form reveals itself. If you judge yourself daily, you will feel like you are failing. If you judge yourself yearly, you will see transformation. Work anyway, even when progress feels invisible. Especially then, the world does not reward impatience, but it always yields to persistence. Pain will visit you often on this path, not dramatic pain, but the quiet ache of effort, repetition, and sacrifice. Learn to sit with it without complaint. Pain is information. It tells you where you are weak, where you must adapt, where you must grow. Do not numb it with distraction or excuses. Study it, adjust, continue. A disciplined mind does not seek comfort. It stops controlling you. You realize you can function through it. And once you know that, fear loses its grip. The world respects results, not intentions. You can want greatness with all your heart and still be average if your actions are weak. Desire without discipline is fantasy. Discipline without emotion is power. This is why you must become ruthless with how you spend your time. Every hour wasted is a message to yourself that your goals are not serious. Every focus session is a vote for the person you are becoming. No one is tracking your effort, but the results will. They always do. The world may not care now, but it cannot ignore excellence when it arrives. So stop asking if it's worth it. That question only exists when commitment is incomplete. Instead, decide who you are, then act accordingly. When doubt speaks, let action answer. When fatigue whispers, let routine carry you forward. You are not here to be comforted, you are here to be forged. There is a point where you must stop negotiating with yourself. Stop promising that you'll start tomorrow or next week or when things feel easier. That inner dialogue is not kindness. It is delay disguised as compassion. The version of you that keeps bargaining is trying to avoid discomfort, not protect you. Discipline begins the moment you act without agreement from your emotions. You do not wait to feel ready, you move because movement is required. This is how consistency is born, not from inspiration, but from obedience to a standard you refuse to lower. You will notice that once you commit to this way of living, resistance increases. Life tests you harder. Fatigue deepens. Distractions multiply. This is not coincidence. Resistance rises in proportion to your growth. Weak paths do not attract opposition. Only those moving forward feel pressure. Do not interpret resistance as a sign to stop. Interpret it as proof that you are advancing into territory that demands more of you. The mind will say, slow down, the body will complain. Let them speak, but do not let them decide. There will be moments when you look around and feel behind. Others seem ahead, rewarded, celebrated, comfortable. Comparison will tempt you to abandon your pace. Resist that urge. You do not know the cost they paid or the shortcuts they took. Focus on your own blade. Sharpen it daily. A dull weapon in a fast hand is still weak. A sharp weapon in a patient hand is lethal. Progress is personal. Stay loyal to your path, even when it feels unnoticed. Especially then, understand that mastery is not loud. It does not announce itself early. It moves quietly, accumulating strength. When people finally notice, the work is already done. This is why you must detach from external reaction. Praise can soften you. Criticism can distract you. Indifference is pure. It allows you to work without distortion. Accept the world's lack of concern as training. If you can perform without recognition, you can perform under pressure. If you can endure without reward, you can handle success without losing yourself. One day, you will realize that the world's indifference no longer bothers you. It empowers you. You are no longer driven by anger, revenge, or the need to prove anything. You work because it is who you are. The work becomes your identity. When you reach that place, where your work is no longer about proving something to the world, but about fulfilling your own potential, you step into true freedom. The chains of approval fall away, and with them, the distractions that once clouded your focus. Now every action you take is deliberate, every moment spent purposeful. This is the heart of mastery, being at peace with effort itself, regardless of outcome. You learn to move through life like water, adapting to obstacles without losing momentum, flowing toward your goals without resistance. There is a quiet power in this acceptance. When you no longer depend on others to see your worth, you become unstoppable. The doubts that once haunted you lose their grip because they carry no weight. The noise of criticism fades into background static. Your mind becomes a fortress of calm determination. In this space, you can train relentlessly, work tirelessly, and grow unshakably, not because the world demands it, but because you have decided that nothing else will satisfy you. Do not confuse this calm with passivity. It is the opposite. This calm is a storm held within, controlled and precise. It is the focus of a warrior who has learned to channel all energy toward a single point. When you cultivate this, you become not just productive but powerful. Every step forward carries force. Every challenge faced sharpens you further, and the world, indifferent as ever, will watch as you become something undeniable. If you want to stand apart, if you want to become more than the noise of average, you must embrace the truth. The world does not care. It never will. Work anyway. Work with a heart unshaken by rejection, a mind unwavering in doubt, and a spirit that thrives in silence. This is your way. This is your path. The journey is yours alone, and in owning that, you find your true strength. The battles you face will not always be physical. Often they will be battles of the mind and spirit. Doubt, fear, and distraction are relentless enemies that do not wear armor, but strike at your resolve. When these shadows creep in, do not run from them or seek comfort in excuses. Stand firm. A warrior's greatest weapon is not their sword, it is their mindset. The ability to look uncertainty in the eye and press forward regardless is what separates the temporary from the eternal. Regardless is what separates the temporary from the eternal. You must train your mind as rigorously as your body. Discipline the thoughts that weaken you. Replace "I can't" with "I will." Replace "why bother" with "because I must." This is not mere positive thinking. It is the cultivation of a mentality that bends reality toward your will. The world's indifference becomes irrelevant when your mind is unshakable. You are no longer a leaf blown by every breeze of circumstance. You are the storm that shapes the land. There will be moments of isolation where loneliness feels like a heavy cloak. Know this, that loneliness is the crucible of strength. It is where the foundation of greatness is laid. In that solitude, you face yourself without distraction. You discover what you are truly made of, and from that truth, you build an inner fortress no one can breach. The world's silence is not emptiness. It is an opportunity to hear your own power grow. Keep this close. The goal is not to please the world, but to master yourself. If you can work without applause, if you can keep moving when no one notices, you are already winning. Your progress is not measured in recognition, but in persistence. So rise every day with the quiet certainty that your work matters, because it does. Not because others say so, but because you have chosen it. The art of relentless self-mastery demands that you become indifferent, not only to external validation, but also to fleeting emotions, pride, frustration, excitement. They come and go like the wind, unpredictable and unreliable. Do not let your mood dictate your actions. Instead, forge a discipline that operates beyond feeling. This is the true mark of a master, moving forward when it is easy and moving forward when it is hardest. Consistency is the silent river that carves mountains, not the roaring flood that rages briefly and then vanishes. Every day presents a choice, to give in to distraction or to commit to the path. These choices, repeated endlessly, build your character. Like the hammer shaping iron, they mold your will. When you embrace discomfort as a teacher instead of an enemy, you begin to transform. The pain of effort becomes a signal, not a barrier. The struggle is the proof that you are alive, growing and becoming. Without struggle, there is no progress, no forging of the spirit. Remember, no one will hand you greatness. You must seize it through relentless action. Waiting for the perfect time is a trap. Opportunity favors those who prepare and act, even imperfectly. A blade left in its sheath will never defend, never conquer. Only the blade that is drawn and wielded again and again becomes formidable. So draw your weapon daily, your discipline, your focus, your effort, and strike relentlessly against the obstacles in your path. This is not a journey for the faint-hearted. It requires sacrifice, patience, and unyielding resolve. But in embracing the world's indifference, you find a secret ally, freedom. Freedom from expectation, from distraction, from the need to explain or justify yourself. You become your own master, your own judge, your own source of strength. This is where true power lies, not in external rewards, but in the unbreakable spirit forged through unwavering work. The unbreakable spirit you seek is not born overnight. It is the result of countless small decisions made in moments no one else sees. It is the quiet choice to show up when the world is silent, to push when your body screams rest, to act when doubt tries to freeze you in place. This is the essence of mastery. Work done without witness, without praise, without reward. Yet these invisible actions build the foundation for visible greatness. Understand that setbacks will come, and they will sting. Failure is not a detour, but a part of the path. Each failure carves away weakness and sharpens your edge. Do not fear it. Welcome it as a teacher. The warrior who fears failure is already defeated. The one who uses failure as fuel grows stronger with every fall. The world's indifference is the perfect backdrop for this process. Without an audience, you are free to fail, learn, and rise again, stronger, wiser, more focused. Do not seek comfort in the crowd or distraction in noise. The true battlefield lies within. Here, you must train your mind as fiercely as your body. When doubt whispers, silence it with action. When fear rises, confront it with purpose. The inner struggle is relentless, but so is the warrior's resolve. To master this inner war is to master everything else. Know this deeply. Your work matters most when it seems to matter least. When the world looks away, your effort plants seeds for a future harvest. Success is often the result of unseen labor, persistent through years of indifference. So stand firm in the quiet. Let your work be your message. The world may never care, but you will have forged something unbreakable. To walk this path is to embrace solitude not as punishment, but as privilege. Solitude allows you to confront the truth without distraction. In silence, you see clearly where you fall short, where your excuses hide, where your true strength lies. Many fear being alone because it forces honesty, but the warrior welcomes this honesty because it is the foundation of growth. Without it, progress is illusion. The world's indifference strips away comfort, leaving only what is real. This reality, though harsh, is your greatest teacher. Do not mistake recognition for success. A fleeting nod or praise from others can be hollow. Real success is measured in the quiet moments when you refuse to give up. It is in the habit of showing up, day after day, without fanfare. When you learn to work without applause, you build a resilience no circumstance can shake. This resilience is not born from ease, but from enduring hardship without losing focus. It is a power that the world cannot take away because it exists deep within. In every task, no matter how small, give your full presence. The path to mastery is paved with attention to detail and respect for the process. Whether you are practicing your craft or facing life's challenges, work with intention. Each deliberate action compounds, forging a future that is unassailable. The world's indifference frees you from distraction and forces you to own your effort completely. When you embrace this, you become unstoppable. Remember, the only approval you need is your own. The world will not hand it to you, and that is a gift, because now your work is pure, untainted by expectation, untouched by praise or criticism. It is honest, raw, and powerful. Let this be your guide. Work regardless. Work without audience. Work with heart unshaken. Listen closely, because this is where everything you've heard comes alive. The world will never bend its will for you. It will never pause its march to celebrate your struggle or honor your sacrifices. It does not owe you understanding, fairness, or even kindness. But here's the profound truth. None of that matters, because within you lies a power far greater than applause or approval, a power born from the choice to rise every day, to fight when no one watches, to keep moving forward when every voice in your head screams to stop. This power is your soul's fire, untamed, unyielding, and relentless. It is the quiet voice that whispers, "I will work anyway." It is the warrior's heart that does not seek permission but carves its own path. When you embrace this, you become unstoppable. The world's indifference is no longer a wall but a doorway to freedom, resilience, and mastery. So stand tall in your solitude. Wear your scars like armor. Let your sweat be the proof of your commitment. Know that the greatest victories are forged in silence, far from the eyes of spectators. Your journey is yours alone, and that is your strength. When doubt comes, meet it with action. When fear rises, let discipline drown it out. Work not for recognition, but because your future self depends on it. Work because you owe it to the greatness inside you. The world doesn't care. Work anyway. This is your truth. This is your power. This is your way.